Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and being that it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I wanted to kind of acknowledge him and this holiday. Dr. King went to university and studied to get his doctorate in theology, preaching. He worked part time under his father. So, yeah, he would later move from Atlanta to Alabama because there's where most of his big uh, sit ins, marches, speeches, many of them were there in Alabama. Montgomery, Birmingham, Selma. Um, yeah, he would go to jail for, you know, his cause. Although, very similarly to today, he would be blamed for causing riots and damage instead of fighting for equal rights. He would always preach to make the fight for equal rights a peaceful one, no physical damage. Throw no punches, no slaps. It's not self defense. Not to say you can't cover yourself, but you can't like fight back, which takes a lot. Many people are willing to try to punch back if they get attacked, if they can. But because of others, he would be often accused of leading non peaceful marches and stuff because there would be some property damage. But again, as I pointed out, it's much like the Black Lives Matter protests. Majority of them were peaceful, but there's always those few. And I have no doubt police were probably involved because they sure were during MLK's day. Perhaps his most famous speech was in front of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., because there's a line from that. I have a dream. I have a dream that my three little children, I can't remember the rest of it, but yeah, the I have a dream speech. It was there in front of the Lincoln Memorial in D.C. if you're interested in some of the writings and speeches of Dr. King, I do have a playlist on my channel where I read through a book called A Testament of Hope. It's a pretty big book. It collects his speeches, uh, his writings, interviews. It's a good book to go through. Now, Dr. King also had his own issues. The CIA and FBI kept huge watch over him because they thought he was a troublemaker, simply because he was fighting for equal rights. And they even made clear to him on a number of occasions that yes, they were watching him. I think there was the one instance where he supposedly had an extramarital affair. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Supposedly, one of the things they tried to press against him was he had an extramarital affair. MLK extramarital. Yeah. Here's from NPR. Uh, it's talking about a documentary of how the FBI tried to destroy MLK with wiretaps and blackmail. Okay, here's a piece from that. Um, his hope was to pass it on to the press and that the press would publish it and it would really discredit Dr. King and his reputation as this upright Christian minister who's leading the civil rights movement. So people would say, oh, how horrible his personal life is. How can we follow this man? Now that he didn't, now what he didn't bank on was back in the 60s, the press did not take the bait. They did not reveal the personal lives of these public figures. They didn't do it with John Kennedy, and they didn't do it with others, and didn't do it with Dr. King. So, yeah, it's talking on why Hoover wanted recordings of Dr. King's affair. So, again, I'm just trying to show that King was human. He had, you know, things he dealt with. But outside of that, you put that to the side, he was an amazing, amazing leader in the fight for civil rights and equality. And he frightened so many racist or racial segregationists that they attempted to even assassinate him. Church bombings. And eventually he would die by a bullet from Medgar Evers. No, it wasn't Medgar Evers. What was his name? James Earl Ray. That's his name. Medgar Evers was a member of the NAACP. I don't know why I thought it was Edward. Wanted to say Medgar Evers. James Earl Ray, Tennessee, in Memphis. He shot Dr. King. Killed him. But like I said, even before that, there were bombings of his church and a number of attempts and physical violent threats made on his life. So he had pressure coming at him from multiple sides. But he knew the only thing to do was walk forward, push, um, forward. As I said, he would be assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee in 1968. And unfortunately, I feel there is still much that can be done in the terms of civil rights. It's everything is not quite over yet. We are not yet at that equal point. It's better than they were, but still not equal. Um, and you always have to keep in mind there are those who want to take it backwards. But the holiday was put into place in 1983 and voted upon to be a national holiday, one we take the day off. So again, I hope you're enjoying your holiday. You enjoy this time, but yeah, remember what it's all about. Man who faced multiple dangers, pressures, threats, but would not bend, did not give into violent reaction, and stayed his course. Nonviolence as a way to change things. But I just wanted to speak about that. Um, as always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I will be putting some sources in the description below the video. Anyway, see you all in the next video. Until then, later.